Whoa, Tail Tangle. Hi, I'm Mirror and I'm here to show you how to play. So, what is Tail Tangle and how do you play? Tail Tangle is the ultimate race to get 10 tails, which is also the aim of the game. But first, we have to choose a player card. 2 to 6 players choose from a variety of player cards. After choosing one, we connect the first tail at this blue slot here. Then, every other tail afterwards gets connected at this black line, just as so. Let's get to 10 tails. Yes, this is 10. If this is an actual game, we would have won. Notice that there's 1, 2, 3 raccoon tails and 1, 2, 3 cat tails. These are called tail sets. Once you get 3 cat tails, you get its ability. You see here, it says its ability. The cat tail set lets you win at 9 tails instead of 10. And up next is the raccoon set. The set ability lets you spend 2 action points to grab any card from the discard pile and add it to your hand. We'll get into action points just in a bit. And now for the dragon set. The ability makes it so that all dragon tails and the tails to the left cannot be stolen. For example, all these tails here are safe as they are before the dragon tail, while this fox tail at the end is not safe. However, if we added another dragon tail, it would be to the left of a completed dragon set, counting it as safe. And here's the fox set. The ability lets you passively have an extra action point per round. And now for the wolf tail. For 2 action points, you can activate its ability to steal a tail from another player and add it to your hand. And the last type of tail, the wild tail. This counts as whatever tail it is to the left. Think of this rainbow tail as another wolf tail here. A good example of this would be this scenario. The rainbow tail here is technically a dragon tail, so it cannot be stolen and is safe. Now, the last thing you need to remember about the sets is that they don't need to be in order. That raccoon set, this cat set, and this fox set is not in order, but count as a completed set. Now, moving on. If you forget any tail effect, they are listed on the back of your assistant cards. Just, ignore this spelling mistake. Anyways, let's learn how to set up the table for an epic game of Tail Tangle. First, get every player to choose a player card. Then, second, shuffle the deck and deal 5 cards to each player. Then, third, the remaining cards become the draw pile. Alright, let's learn how to play a round of this game. Rounds consist of 2 parts. First is the 3 action points, and second is the end of turn phase. Let's just focus on 3 action points for now. Each card in the game has an action point cost, also known as AP. You can see here, this card costs 1 action point, and this card costs 2 action points. And this one costs 1 again. Also, drawing cards also cost 1 action point. So, if you wanted to draw 3 cards, that would cost 3 action points. Action points is also spent on your set's abilities, such as the raccoon tail and the wolf tail. Now, for the end of turn phase. When you finish your 3 action points, you can attach a tail, which is known as the end of turn tail attachment. Real quick, the only times you can attach a tail is when it's at the end of your turn, or if you play a card that says so. These are the only times. So for an example, I'll show you how you can connect 2 tails in 1 round. First, with my 3 action points, I'll draw a card costing 1 action point. Now, I will play my card, attach an extra tail. And I'll attach this fox tail. Now I have no action points left, which means it's the end of my turn, also called the end of turn tail attachment. I will attach this fox tail. And voila! I have attached 2 tails in 1 turn. Of course, after you finish your turn, it's the next player's turn. Now, onto the action cards. They come in 3 different colors: blue, red, and yellow. First, the blue cards. Blue cards generally benefit the user. such as attach an extra tail, draw 2, grab from discard pile, and look at top 3 and rearrange. Red cards. They generally affect other players, such as discard player's last tail, swap tail, swap hands with another player, and steal player's tail and attach it. Make sure to read the text, as this one says add to hand, but the other one said attach, while this one says add to hand, so make sure you're careful and read. Next is the yellow cards. They cost no action points and are used during other players' turns. This card blocks the incoming red attack, while this one mirrors it back to the player who used it. And yes, before you ask, you can nope a nope. Now, this last card is the Tail Tangle card. It's a bit more complicated than the rest, but basically it stops a player from attaching a tail next round, but let me show you how it works visually instead. When you use it against your opponent's tail chain, it goes right at the end here. And when it's their turn and they want to attach a tail using a card, they use the card but don't place the tail and remove Tail Tangle instead. Or they use a card that lets you steal and attach in the same turn. But in this situation, you steal, add the tail to hand, and remove Tail Tangle. Or if it's end of turn tail attachment, they don't attach a tail and just remove the Tail Tangle card instead. Alright, let's wrap things up. The last things you gotta know before playing. First, you can't stop the tail order. No rearranging. If the deck runs out, the top 5 of the discard pile stays as the discard pile. The rest gets shuffled and used as the new deck. If you attach a foxtail at the end of turn tail attachment, you get the extra action point next round. While if you attach it during a turn using a card, feel free to use that extra action point that round. And if the rainbow tail is the first tail in your chain, it affects the tail to the right instead, only for that tail. Anyways, enjoy Tail Tangle.